What's up guys, How to Draw Anime back again with another tutorial. So today we're going to be talking about how to basically create structuring when you're drawing, your characters initially for some male and some female, because when it comes down to it, it's really important of how you, place certain things on the face when you're drawing the two different genders to kind of separate them, especially when it comes down to, character design, basically creating the groundwork for who your characters are going to be, when you're creating a series or you're putting together a cast. So let's get started. So today we're going to be doing 3 different structures. I'm going to do 2 male and 1 female, just to kind of give you guys, a little bit of an idea of how to separate, because when it comes down to it, creating a strong male jawbone is kind of an important thing, especially when you're kind of, giving a character a tough guy, bruiser kind of feel, So when it comes to creating your, eyeline area, you're going to want to put your male a little bit higher, because you're going to drop the cheekbone down a little bit on your female to give it a bit more of kind of an expressive, softness to it. So going in on our first one. So our first guy that we're going to be doing is kind of, we're going to give it a bit more of a, kind of like a chin, When it comes down to creating, male characters, sometimes you're going to want to give him a bit more of a hard jawline, You can flatten his chin out and give him kind of this raised cheekbone and then a sharper wraparound. And, like I said, you can give this guy a little bit more of a tough guy, kind of bruiser look, Give him a bit of the smaller eyes. Who knows? Angry eyebrows, possibly. Bring his nose up a little bit. And when it comes down to neck, for a tough guy or somebody like this, you're going to want to give him a bit more of a broader neck, Bring out his muscularity, and probably something, like a more of a shorter hairstyle. I'm just going to leave his eyes like this. He's like Brock right now from Pokemon. But, yeah. Maybe even for someone like this, you're going to want to use the chin to bring it out, so you can give him like some facial hair, like a bit of like a stubble somewhere to kind of wrap around. You can really make this guy into kind of like, kind of just, one of those characters who you can tell he's going to be a little bit more, aggressive. He might not have so much of the emotional side to him, bring out his, features there. Give him one of those kind of appeals, It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, if you want to do this, you can put some of these kind of features into your characters, but it's all up to you, It's all about your different things. Some animes don't include a lot of guys like this. I've seen animes where some of the facial structures look very much the same. It's usually intentional, just for an emotional, display. But either way, moving on to our second one. So for this one, I'm going to talk about the second style, because your guys don't always have to have this kind of, chin hardness, We can give a guy a little bit more of like, still a race thing, but give him more of just a sharp chin, You can use the sharp chin to kind of bring out a male expression, but not having to be so, rigid with the flattened chin and everything. This is kind of more of like a Yu-Gi-Oh structure, so guys in this might have bigger eyes, Who knows? Kind of like a sharp nose. For his neck, you don't need to make it as wide as this guy's, but you might want to make it a little bit wider, because it'll help to bring out the differentiation between male and female. Because for females, you usually want to make the neck a bit smaller, just to kind of give them an elegant touch to them, Once again, these are just rough sketches. Guys in this kind of Yu-Gi-Oh universe tend to have bigger hair, that kind of wraps around. Who knows? It's all up to you when it comes down to creating your characters, You might want to give him a chin. You could still give a guy like this a little bit of a stubble, bring his eyes down a little bit, and he'd be kind of like a Mugen from Samurai Champloo, you know, if you give him a smaller eye. But that character is very unique, especially when he came to be Mugen, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Moving on, this is the female one. So when it comes down to it, differentiating between female is going to be majorly in where her eyeline is going to sit, and where, you know, her cheekbone kind of drops down, and you're going to want to give it a more of a bounce, you know. Sometimes they don't really give them so much of the bounce, cheekbone, or anything like that, but it's all up to you, really. But I'm just going to give you one expression, you know, you're going to want to kind of give it more of a wrap around in this kind of, you know, bounce effect on the cheek, you know. Typically bigger eyes for females. And another big thing is putting them a little bit closer together. For males, you're going to want to keep it a good distance apart. You don't want to really press them in too much. But for females, you can definitely go close in on where the eyes sit. Put them close together, you know. And you don't want to be too harsh on the eyebrows. Sometimes, you know, I mean, especially nowadays, you don't know, you might want to express some harshness with the eyebrows, but it's really up to you. And like I said, much smaller necks on your female characters. You don't want to make them look too bruisey. Unless, you know, you're making some hardcore female. You could give her a full-on chin like this. Who knows? It's all up to you. Characters don't always have to be told through their facial expression, but I've found that it's a very common way to kind of, you know, create a good groundwork for who you're trying to build for your male or female characters. We're gonna give her like some bangs and a little bit of a kind of a drop down. This is kind of like an Akira Toriyama style. Either way, it's all up to you, you know. But when it comes down to defining, you know, it's going to be easier to tell what characters are what, especially when you give them the certain facial structures that are going to correlate with their gender, you know. Either way, these are just rough doodles. I hope you got the basic idea of what I'm trying to say here. Let's take a look at all of them in bigger perspective. Who knows, this could be like a group of 3 characters from a series or something, you know. You can put together whatever you want, and it's all about just remembering what you do with them, because you don't want to change your character's facial structure halfway through, you know, writing a series or something. You don't want to forget what you know, put into their initial character design. Either way, I think that'll basically sum up the video. This is HowToDrawAnime signing out. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, I'm back. Expect more videos. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Give me suggestions. That's what I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you guys want to see. I'm going to be doing whatever, you know. I've already got some, but I want to hear more. And yeah, bring it on. Keep your heads up, guys. Take it easy.